connecting with Guruji, I realized that, in my first year of journey, I had a lot of experiences, but I never understood, who Guruji is. Because as a normal human being, all these years, you could never imagine that, God is closer than your own hand and feet. As they say, Jape ko hadra hadu, means that he's nearer, he's so close, and you still don't know. But, after during COVID time, when I heard these satsangs of old sangat, and I used to wonder that how is it possible, and my journey started progressing after hearing the satsangs, and I started connecting the dots and realized that whatever I was experiencing were my satsangs, and I realized that a guru normally mortal gurus teach, give sermons, and they tell you to walk on a certain good path. But our Guruji Maharaj, he has never given any sermons. He is the one who can change your path, who can, rewrite your life, who can change your path and make you a different person, I realized. And in my journey, as I started listening to these old Sangat satsangs, and Guruji started making me realize that who he is. And in this journey, as I heard from some old Sangat, they said that it is Guruji who decides to what extent he wants to reveal himself and to whom. We all have our own different levels of knowing him. And in my journey, I realized that his teachings are so simple to imbibe and to make you a better human being. It is not, he has, made us realize to lead a simple life, to lead a dual life, to enjoy life, but at the same time, be a good human being. Like his teachings were so simple कि आपको पंडितों के पास नहीं जाना है, आपको बानी से जुड़ना है, आपको ईगो को निकालना है, सोल को एलिवेट करना है, and make yourself clean, and then you see, do one-to-one connection, and you will find me insult you. And Sagaji, you won't believe that whatever I was thinking, whatever I was speaking, whatever I was doing, Guruji started showing me practically everything in different ways. Because he has his ways of either telling you through meditation, and to each Sangat, he has his own ways, either through dreams, meditation, thought process, through Jyot. And I started getting messages through that, and my journey started progressing. And it has progressed to such an extent that you cannot know Guruji who he is, because nobody can talk about God. And but whatever little I know of Guruji, that is enough for me to know about him for my next 7 lives. This is what I feel, that to what extent he has revealed himself is enough for me for many lives, not only this life, many lives. And the maximum what I learned from who Guruji is, that he kept giving me satsangs. And to last year I was asked to do about a satsang on Shivratri on Mahashiv. And when I was doing, I searched internet and I was doing, trying to find the material, I realized that everything was fitting Guruji. And I realized, I understood the meaning of Par Brahm. Par Brahm is the only, he only has the power to change your life, to change your destiny, to give you life, to give you moksha. Who can do it? And Guruji has shown, being a practical guru, he has shown what he did with so many sangat, and we have heard from their own mouths. And I used to wonder, how is it possible? But when I did that Mahashivratri satsang, I realized that this was Guruji's leela for me to understand him. And this journey started progressing. Then I started getting a lot of darshans in my Jyot, in walls of my Jyot, and I understood the meaning of Jyot. Jyot is life. It's a life cycle. It is Shiv Parvati. It is Guruji. And another meaning I understood of Jyot is that when you're trying to be inseparable to that divinity, which we are all trying. And I understood that Guruji is giving me darshan in my jyot, that he is found me maybe, good enough that he is showing me his divinity and trying, making me understand that I'm inseparable to him. And this is what my take was on Jyot, and then my journey progressed. But the biggest, last three satsangs of my life are so mind-boggling, that to understand who Guruji is, that one thing which I understood, that wherever you pray and wherever I was going or praying, Guruji gave me sakshat darshans of those gods right at my house, either on the walls of my jyot, or gave me satsangs, or made me go to those pilgrimages to experience those divinities, myself personally. Like, he made me go to Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, Hanuman, those original temples whose satsangs he gave me, and he showed his presence in those places. And huge satsang, there was a reason behind those visits. I thought they were pleasure trips, but there was a reason behind those visits. And Guruji gave me, his darshans in those places and showed me his divinity. But last month, what happened? The biggest satsang there are 2 or 3 very biggest satsangs which happened in last 15 to 20 days in my life. One is that autobiography of a yogi. This, this book was being read by Anita Kumar Aunty in a platform. And, I just casually sat one day, and I thought, I always felt that this book is very difficult. It will go above my head. But it was Guruji's Leela. He wanted me to sit and hear that book because there was a reason behind it. Sangaji, next day, what I get a darshan of yogi sitting with him in the mountains in my jyot. And it is such clear darshan. Even the Sangat who was in that platform saw and, felt that Guruji showed me, and he made me, gave me a thought that I should read this book and do a synopsis. And I requested the, coordinators that you please give me 10 minutes once a week. I want to do synopsis. They gave me 10 minutes, and that gave me my journey of knowing Guruji. Ultimate journey of knowing Guruji started from there, because that synopsis, I literally took out the essence of the chapters and realized that whatever I was speaking, whatever is written in that book 75 years back is all Guruji. And when you, read that book as a Guruji's devotee, you'll be able to understand more, because it is a true book. It is not a fictitious book. It is from Paramhansa's mouth about his journey with various gurus, where, and all the gurus I found, all the gurus were in our Guruji Maharaj. Whatever the teachings were so small and simple. It talks about palmistry. It talks about that when you will find your guru. It talks about family life. It talks about, your love, Guru's love for his Sangat. And whatever we have seen and experienced while I was doing these chapters, I could, relate to the satsangs I've heard. Then in one chapter, Paramhansa asked his, guru that, will you show me God? Will you show me God? So he says he does not reply him. And he tells him, he doesn't say, so he doesn't know what God is. He wants to search for God. So one day, Paramhansa's guru, Yukteswar Giri, touches his, chest, above his heart. And Paramhansa feels that he's dead. And this chapter was very divine. And I'll tell you how Guruji made me learn and showed me that when he, Paramhansa's, his guru touches his chest, Paramahansas feel that he's dead, and his eyes open, virtual eyes open, mind open, and soul opens. He sees the entire universe moving, shaking, and there is complete fire, and he hears the sound, Om, Om, and then there is fire. And he hears the sound. And Paramahansa realizes this is the spirit of God. So what Guruji says that I'm light, I'm, Ek Nirankar. This is what Paramahansa experiences. And then the Guru, when Paramahansa comes in his senses, Guru asks him to do jhadu, to do that menial work. And he himself starts doing jhadu, cleaning the room. So he makes him understand that Guru, you don't find God by going to jungles or to mountains. You find Guru inside you. So while I was reading this chapter for my synopsis, Guruji was Sakshat giving me those darshans in my jyot. My jyot was turning into fire, and I saw him, his image sitting there, and my whole jyot was completely into fire. So this is the meaning of Spirit of God. And then another beautiful chapter I learned was Spirit of, the Spirit astral world. That, our spirit has to go through 3 passages. One is inside us, and then we have to go, after we die, we have to go up, and it takes years, maybe, hundreds of years to get salvation. So imagine, who can give you salvation? Our Guruji Maharaj. So how blessed we are. And Sangaji, I was so, so perplexed reading this book. And the book tells the Guru, after he dies, he comes to him in real form, and he tells him that what is the meaning of light. So he explains him that how the light, materializes himself, how Guru materializes himself, and we see him as a Guru, but he is light. And I realized that Guruji, when we used to see him in mortal form, was really not a mortal person. He was even at that time light. This is what I understood. For our eyes, we saw him as a human being. He was born, but he was even light at that time. That is why he could give those experiences of, of Sachkhand and all that. And who could give? No mortal human being can give. So this is one thing I understood. And another very beautiful thing I understood, when Paramhansa's Guru, he goes somewhere, and as some guests tell him that you only talk about your Guru all the time, 24/7. What is your Guru? Can you get him here? And, his Guru prays, and his Guru comes and in real form, and the guests are perplexed, shocked. They touch him and they say, then the Guru tells him, which is Sangaji for all of us to understand. The Guru tells him, I will come when you need me, not when you call me. So हमको किसी संगत के लिए ये नहीं करना कि गुरुजी आप हमें शहद की वर्षा कर दीजिए ताकि हमारे घर वाले देखें कि हम गुरुजी से जुड़े. We do not have to, ask Guruji to do all that. He will come when we need him. And this is what Guru tells him, that I'm there when you need me, not when you call me for these purposes, for those people who have closed minds. And one beautiful thing the book says, which I feel is happening now. He says that, the main three gurus, which are mentioned in that book, Guruji is, all those 3 gurus are inside our Guruji. And he said that very little is said or written about these gurus. If you don't spread the message, how will the world know? He has compared this divinity with Jesus Christ. He says that when Jesus Christ came, there were 3 witnesses who witnessed him. So you have not mentioned about these divinities. You don't write about them. You don't talk about them. How will people know? They'll become fairy tales. They'll become fairy stories. So that is why I feel that our satsangs, what we are doing, what we are speaking, and like what Aunty has written, what other sangats have written, these books are for our future generations to know what Guruji is. And another thing the book says, which is written 75 years back, which is so valid. He says, the Guru who does not give sermons, his messages will come like a relentless flood at the bank of your mind. मतलब आपके mind के ऊपर वो एक सैलाब की तरह, एक बाढ़ की तरह आएंगे. And this is what is happening now. And he says that his messages will come through dreams and will come through messages like you will feel ki who has written these messages, but you will read only those messages which are meant for you. And this is what is happening. And the book says that through dreams you will get, because dream means कि आपका जो mind होता है उस time silent होता है. So the Guru connects with your mind more at that time. That is why Guruji comes in dreams. So this is what I understood, that our blessings we should spread, we should talk, but to those people who have open mind. And those who have closed minds, we do not have to convince them. And Sangaji, now being a practical guru, I will end how Guruji took me practically to these three gurus. See, 2 weeks back, I went to Banaras, and Lahiri Mahashaya, the main guru of that book, Paramhansa, his parents, Yukteswar Giri's guru is Lahiri Mahashaya, who died in 1895, and he lived in Banaras. I went to his house. Sangaji, I went alone. I had gone with my friends. I searched that gully, and I went, and somebody took me there, and I bowed my head, and I went to his ashram. The Sevadar told me, they showed me the Shivling, which Yukteswar Giri, Lahiri Mahashaya used to pray. And he said, you bow your head and pray to him. He listens to you. The mitti of these three gurus listen to you. He opened the cave of Aftari Baba for me, and he says, you bow your head. There are very few seekers like you, you come. So you tell me that this book changed my life, and Guruji took me to Banaras, to the door of those gurus of Paramhansa, on which the book is written. And I'm sure very few people, even those who have read the book or those who are reading the book, have visited there. So who can do that? Only my Guruji Maharaj can do it. And it's his grace, his, meher, that he is, giving me these darshans. And in Banaras, Sangaji, I quote lot of Kabir Bani, I quote lot of Ravidas. They are by now eternal gurus, because Guruji connected me to Ravidas Bani through Shabads, and Kabir Bani Shabads through him, and he took me to their ashrams. He took me to Kabir Ashram in Banaras. He took me to Ravidas, where he was born. And Guruji gave me Sakshat Darshan of Kabirji and Ravidas, and made me realize that whatever you speak, whatever you think, I am a practical guru. And he showed me practically everything, whatever I'm doing and saying, Guruji validates, and he does that. So this is my take on Guruji. He is a divinity, he's Par Brahm. Please don't use sport words for him. Even when we do satsang, we should never mention that what we used to think about him earlier, because he's God. He's giving us हम हमारा कच्चा पक्का सत्संग सुनते हैं. He's giving us आज्ञा that we can talk about him. Otherwise, we are nobody. So अगर मैं खामोश रहूं तो आप ही सब कुछ हैं. कुछ कहा तो आपके नूर को कर दिया महदूद. Means I have put you in explainable limits. तेरा किस्सा कौन सुनाए, जो तुझे कहे वे ना जाने, और जो जाने वो कह ना पाए, वो गूंगा हो जाता है. So we are all gungas, but he is giving us permission to speak about him. So we are speaking to spread his knowledge, to spread his message. Thank you very much. Thank you. I'm completely overwhelmed after doing this satsang. Thanks a lot, everybody.